If talkers are chatty Cathys, what's a good listener? Listening Lucy's, maybe? Sure, let's go with it. Welcome back, Listening Lucy's. We're pumped you joined us for Alan Clark's Part 2, where he talks career transitions, how we're feeling about Louis C.K. these days, and working on himself so he can show up in better ways. I'm your host, Bridget Denahan, and I'm still mad at Louis C.K. because he was my favorite comic. Oh, and lastly, please note, I do not force people to cry on the pod, but I'm here for it. You got a good story out of it.
Oh, gosh. I've got crazy-ass stories like this a mile wide because...
Okay, tell me one that you haven't shared yet.
Okay, I've got one that I have shared, but it was so long ago that no one remembers it.
Great.
And no one cares, but I haven't told it lately.
Okay.
Okay, so years ago for a magazine cover, I had to shoot Miss America. And it was Heather Whitestone. I don't know if you know who that was.
I do not.
But she was, I think, one and only deaf Miss America.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful woman. We had to go to Birmingham to do it. And I was trying to figure out, I always do research. Excuse me. I always do research on whatever I'm shooting, whoever I'm shooting, whatever the subject is, or the company.
You mean you don't just let people
show up, stand in front of me.
And you don't know anything about them?
No, because honestly, I'm looking for connection.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for connection.
Yeah, of
I'm always
course.
looking to make others feel at ease in front of cameras. Because talk about the number one thing besides dentistry, apparently, to make people nervous is being in front of a camera.
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen mega stars. Like I'll be set up at the end of a arena or something like that. I've seen a star walk off the stage in front of 80,000 people.
And the dread.
Down the hallway towards me, and it's a long hallway. And the closer they get to me, they just shrink and shrivel, and they do this like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You just were like magnanimous in front of 80,000 people, 20,000 people.
It's intimate.
You come close to me, and you're like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
So you're doing research.
I always do research on everybody, and to make a connection with Heather, I was trying really hard to find out things that she liked or wanted or thought were funny. So I just was like, I'm going to make her laugh. I want to make sure this is a good experience for her because there's an awkwardness that exists on shoots. It just happens.
Yes.
It's either subject awkwardness, client awkwardness, that weirdo that shows up on the shoot, like a publisher or somebody that shows up on a shoot, a client, whatever. There's always that one person that makes everything go wrong. So it has to become my set so that I can protect who's being photographed and me.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't care outside of that.
Yeah.
If you break that bubble for any reason, you're going to sit down, you're going to go sit, you're going to leave. I've excused people from sets before. I've yelled, you need to shut up on sets before. I've had to have talks with managers before. It's crazy, but that protection is vital. And maybe I'm the guy that's difficult to work with. I haven't heard that about me. I think I'm easy to work with, but I know.
But also you're trying to protect the art, right?
Yeah, and so I was trying to look for a connection, and I remember I just could not find it. Like I was like, hey, let's go. Because, in the Miss America pageant, they give you money. There's, I think she got a Camaro or some kind of American car because America.
Yeah.
They give away, cars and stuff like that. So I was and I was like, hey, let's photograph you in the car. She was like, no, that's not me. I was like, okay, I get that. Cool. But I was struggling to get a connection with her. And so she turned around for about 2 seconds, and I took the crown out of the box and I stuck it on my head, and I wore Miss America's crown.
Yeah.
And I said, and so she also wasn't 100% deaf. She had partial hearing. So she was like 90 or 80% deaf. I remember yelling or waving my arms or both, getting her attention. And she looked around, and I kind of went like this just to get to see her response. And she started laughing, and she called me crazy, and that kind of lightened. It helped her
Relax.
get past, just broke the wall. It just broke the wall, because that's the biggest thing. Is there's either a wall internally or there's a wall that I put up. I don't mean to. It's just me being there sometimes with the camera.
Yeah.
So I kind of broke that wall, and that's what I'm looking for. I need to break that wall down, because it can be so high. And you know what? I don't get that every time. Every time on shoots with a celebrity, a known person, a person who's not into this at all, the wall can sometimes be good for the photograph. But I don't know that they want to come across that way. I know she didn't. She wanted to be friendly and open, direct and inviting and engaging. But man, dude, it's the magician work of being a photographer, of trying to portray the person in a good light, an interesting light, or a light.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. That's why you get paid. Sometimes it is the value of the work. It's the portfolio. Sometimes it's the lighting. But to me, honestly, the real value of a great photographer, and I mean great, not good, and I don't mean local. I'm not a local guy. I live in Nashville. People have called me a great Nashville photographer, other photographers, which I find totally fucking insulting, because we're visual artists who live in Nashville. I'm not a Nashville photographer. I don't look at you that way, so don't look at me that way. And I think that we have the ability to shoot anyone and anywhere and be on a global scale, and I compare myself to the greatest. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know about what you're going to do, but that's what I'm going to do. And honestly, that is, I think, the key to my success, because I looked at myself that way instead of trying to turn myself into the local person. It's not that there's anything wrong with Nashville. There's not. I didn't want to shoot country when I first started. It was very cheesy when I first started. It's not now. It's artistic. It's interesting. They take risks.
They do take risks.
They didn't. 20 years ago, they didn't. It was all headshots. We all know that. Everyone in Nashville was just a glorified headshot. That's all it was. They didn't want any risks. They just wanted.
Yeah.
That's all they wanted. I didn't want that for myself. I wanted ideas. I wanted crazy shit. I wanted, if this is cool, I want this to hang in a museum.
Yeah.
That's how I drove myself. I don't even know why I was like that. My parents didn't drive me like that. I think I just found the thing I loved. And once I figured it out, I was like, I want to be the best, the fucking best, not local person shooting something.
When did you know that photography was going to be one of your passions?
I think when it kept gnawing at me.
Okay.
I think when it kept coming back to me, or I think when I started seeing things in my head before they ever existed. I think that was the biggest part of it, because, you know, you may not see yourself this way, but I see myself as being able to be a visionary. But a visionary is a person that actually can look into the future. It is the future because I say it is. And to me, you create that from sitting in a room by yourself with just your deep thought. Then you commit it to paper, hopefully, or write it down, or you come up with it, you draw it, you sketch it. You know, in the old days, we called that 4-position only. We had to sketch things first, like you were talking about earlier with storyboarding and stuff like that. You got to sketch the idea. You got to have it come out. Why? Because you don't know what's inside my head. I don't know what's in yours. It's much better for our client if we have a sketch or they have a sketch, because then we can kind of get inside their head, even if it's only 4-position.
Yes.
Which means in the old days, they called that FPO. And
FPO.
So what that would be is, where is this person sitting? Where's this person standing? Where's this person looking? What are they wearing? What's
in the
nationality
background?
are they? You know, what's their background? What's happening around them? Were they in a car? You know, is there a tree in it? It's a great thing to do, an exercise to do, is to sketch things out.
How old
Draw
were
them
you
out.
when these things started happening, where you were like, when did you learn how to use a camera?
My mom sucked at taking family photos.
Okay.
Love her. God bless her. R.I.P. But she was terrible at photographing our family. And we made so much fun of her. She finally just was like, and handed the camera over to me and was like, here you go. I don't know if she knew what she was doing. I don't think she did. I don't think she definitely did know this is where it would take me. But I started 6 years old.
Oh,
I was
really?
6. Yeah. I've got photographs. I still have them. I scanned them. Photographs I took of ducks with a plastic camera I got from the Ben Franklin store.
I know what that is.
It's an old drugstore.
It's a dime store.
Dime store.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, drugstore
too. What would it be now? What would it be now?
Honestly, the biggies, like a yes, you're right, a drugstore,
CVS or
like
something?
a CVS, a Walgreens. Yeah, certainly.
Those two things kind of combined. They used to just have pharmacy and drugs and a milkshake over there.
Yes.
And then over here they would have a dime store that was just knickknacks and
Yeah, so it was
tchotchke.
Yeah,
type.
so it's more of like a general store plus the pharmacy and medicines and things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Plastic camera, 6 years old, ducks.
I don't think I've ever met another person that has been to a Benjamin Franklin. We had one in my hometown.
Was it a Southern thing or a national thing?
I grew up in the Midwest, and in like a one stoplight town, and we had one. Need fresh content like social and web assets, copywriting, and more? Visit freshconsumables.com.
So I would photograph with that plastic camera, and then in the same parking lot was the photomat.
Oh, yeah.
So me and Mom would take the film over to the photomat. It was a little drive-through, like a coffee thing, that you drop your film, and it was 2 weeks. Always 2 weeks.
Yes,
it reminded me
forever.
of George Clooney from Oh Brother. 2 weeks from anywhere, damn it.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get Dapper Dan, his little hair gel. And he was like, that'll take 2 weeks. I can order it, but it'll take 2 weeks. And he was like, damn it, I need it right now. 2 weeks. And we'd have to wait. And we'd get a phone call and we'd go pick it up. Mm-hmm. And I remember on one, I have a podcast, The Photo and Taken. I'm probably going to change the name of it because I haven't done it in a couple of years. But I interviewed Sam Maybell, Sam Maybell, National Geographic photographer, and I said he was there. Like he graduated high school, went straight in internship at Nat Geo, and I said, Sam, what was that like? Having to turn the film in and then not know what the results were. How would you improve from that? How would you build on that? And he goes, oh God, you had to have faith. He said, you have to have faith that you did the job right, and you wouldn't see it till it was printed. They didn't know. They handed it over to Nat Geo. The editing department fixed.
Can you imagine?
It.
Can you imagine?
No, I cannot. And it was terrible. Like I was like, Sam, it's awful. And it would be slide film, and they would have to hand it over to the production team or whatever, and the editors, and they would mess with it and get the color right.
Do you get your film back then at that point? I mean,
not
they
when you
own
work
it
for Nat Geo, not like that. They would hand it off and never see it again.
That's crazy.
And live off of it. A lot of those guys I think they would get prints or they would get a copy or an internegative maybe. I'm not quite sure. Sam, you'll have to help me with that. But they would hand the stuff off and hope for the best. And that's kind of like that was back then, and you really had to know what you were doing. What was it called? The barrier of entry was much tougher and more expensive when we started, but it made me better. Having to shoot slide film made me so exact that it wasn't just f5.8, but it was f5.8.2 or 0.5. You had to have it tack sharp, tack on lighting wise, color wise.
Yeah.
And we had to be so great at what we did. It drove us to greatness, I think, just being exact like that. So to me, that's nuts, man. I'm so glad that I don't have to be that way anymore. If people are like, do you miss film? No, fuck no. I don't miss film. I might like to use it, and I think it's cute for you when you use it as a look or a filter or whatever, but film is not a look or a filter. Film is film. Filters are filters. I mean, you know what I mean? If you want to go for a look, that usually means that you don't really know what you're doing because you have to have some trick to make it better.
Yeah.
To me, like filtering and stuff like that. Well, what else is there? Is the composition there? Subject matter interesting? Is there space around it? Is it going somewhere? Is it telling me something? That's what I'm more interested in. I'm not interested in does it have the Nashville filter on it?
The old Nashville filter.
The old Nashville filter on Instagram.
Yes.
Still don't know why they chose that. I'm sure it had something to do with some terrible experience or hot chicken.
Yeah, I wonder. I can't even picture which one that was, but I I used it. I
Hey, we all did.
We all
I
used
loved it.
It was a good one. I remember
Hey,
that.
I embrace this stuff. I sound like an old codger sometimes, but I love this stuff. Like, it's fun to mess with it.
I'm surprised to hear you say that you don't miss film, and I know what you mean by that. I mean,
You ever agitated roll of film before? Let me try that one again. Hold on. Have you ever agitated film before? Film roll? Remember what that was like? Being in the dark room?
Yes.
Agitating a roll of film takes 30 minutes to sit there and shake it.
Yeah.
What was that terrible thing that Suzanne Summers had that?
Shake weight.
Yeah. Don't ever do that in front of a person. Notice I'm doing the shake weight over here instead of here. But 30 minutes per roll. And no, I don't miss it.
Yeah.
It wasn't convenient. It wasn't great. Yeah, it had a feel to it.
And you got high on the chemicals in that dark room.
Not enough.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way. It was just damaging brain cells, and there was nothing to it.
If you did go in there with a cute someone you thought was cute, though, it could be real romantic for a few minutes in there before you both almost passed out.
Why is she looking at you on that, man?
I've been in a dark room with this one before.
Oh, well.
Now
at work, because if so, I'm talking to HR.
No.
I'm kidding.
But I think it's interesting to hear. How you think we got this baby? I'm just kidding.
Remember that time?
I think it's interesting that because you will find artists who are purist and wish that they could go back to the way they did things before, or wish that society still appreciated this type of their art form.
Yes.
And you're right.
100%.
What you said earlier, you have to be adaptable, right? You have to be interested in learning new technologies in order to kind of survive. And it's even better when you can have a deep appreciation for what's coming next and be excited about it.
I love the simple ways. I do. I love it. It was simpler then. We had the time to agitate a roll of film for 30 minutes.
We did.
We weren't expecting it yesterday as much.
Right. Well, and we can get into what immediacy does for our brains. I think it's not always the best thing, right? And we're all kind of dopamine addicted at this point.
Yes.
And we can get into how,
scrolling,
not good for the mental health.
terrible.
The MH. But how beautiful is it that we can capture a moment and have it for forever in an instant. I will never get over how magical that is because I don't know about you, but in my personal life, I am the picture taker. I'm not a photographer, but I am a recorder. And now
I know we're going to be best friends. One of my blogs was called I Am a Recordable Device.
Right.
I love that. I love that you just said that.
Thank you. I like being a witness and
a dictabelt.
A what?
That's what that in the old days secretaries would use the thing called a dictabelt to
a dictabelt,
to hear the messages from their boss and to write things down and all that type of stuff.
Yes. And there's dictaphone, right? Isn't that a thing? Yes.
The same thing.
Yeah.
In the White House, they would use them. A lot of those tapes and things we hear about Nixon saying, it comes from a dictaphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are recordable devices.
Well, and I think it's so crazy because being married to someone who is a
recordable device,
whatever you call it, classically trained, like he knows how to use a real camera and knows how to set up lights and what you can do with lights. And
you made my day, by the way, when I stepped in here, and that was the first thing we did. I was like, okay, I like this guy a lot. Because, I mean, that's how I would do it. I would usually do it at the end of the podcast, but it's better to go at I think it's better to do it at the front, like you did.
I like it because
we forget. We're like ready to go. We got to split.
How would I get your arm around me,
And then talk about it on the podcast. Thank God I'm single right now. By the way, did you hear that, ladies?
Are you really single right now?
I am single.
Are you looking to mingle?
I am looking to mingle soon. I'm still kind of, I don't know, and by the way, my girlfriend and I we ended it not because we're not friends or
Yeah,
anything. We're
amicably.
still, I just talked to her 2 days ago.
Beautiful.
We're great friends. I'm just not that guy, man. Like,
What
I've been
guy?
married-
The
I've
angry
been
guy
married-
after a breakup?
I've been
Yeah.
married a couple times. I'm friends with every ex that I have, and they're me. I mean, hell, I go vacation with like my baby mama is what I call her.
Cute.
I go vacation with her and her husband. They're great people, and I think that's a healthy place to be. It doesn't mean you're going to ask them for every piece of advice, and it doesn't mean I'm going to hang out with them constantly. I think that's weird, but I think it's good to be healthy for the kids and stuff, and be around them and create a good environment for them.
How old are your children?
My son is 30, Clayton, and my daughter. He's married. His wife's name is Evelyn, and I just love them both so much. And my daughter is Ellis, and she and I presently live together again because of the singleness, but also because we like hanging out, I guess.
How old is she?
She's 26.
Okay.
And she is also an artist. In fact, my son is too. He's a musician. He's an amazing musician.
Neat.
And so,
Keep
yeah.
going.
Oh, but love them dearly, and they tolerate me.
You've been married twice.
3 times, actually.
You
Yeah.
like marriage.
I tried really hard to make things work sometimes, and sometimes too hard. Where I kind of lost myself probably a little bit. You know what I mean?
That
Trying
happens.
to make it. It's got to work. It's got to work. And I tried really hard to find love, and I tried really hard to stay with somebody forever, and did not happen. And I wanted it to happen, but it didn't happen.
People are idealists when it comes to relationships and especially marriages. And I think it was the last pod, and I probably sound like a broken record for everybody who actually knows me in real life, but I always say to people, and I do think I said this in the last episode, love is not compatibility. And love is not chemistry either. You can have compatibility without love. You can have chemistry and love without compatibility, right? It's having the combination of all of those things. And people, I believe this to be true. We should all have love, and we, under the best circumstances, we should be surrounded by love at all times.
I agree.
But it is not enough to sustain a relationship.
Love and tater pie.
I mean,
It's not enough.
yeah, unfortunately.
Sometimes the tater pie.
The tater pie will let you cry whenever you want.
Right? There was a writer here in Nashville. Her name was Laurie Webb years ago. I think she's still here. I'm not sure she still lives in Nashville, but I remember she had a song, and one of the lyrics in that was, let me try that again. My individuality is a gift I share with you.
Oh, yeah.
I love that line. It's always stuck with me. To me, that I've kind of wrapped my philosophy around that a little bit. I wanted, even if it didn't work for me like that, I love that line because I think you keep yourself. That's what made us fall in love with you to begin with. I'm a little bit codependent. I've struggled with that and would kind of lose myself in relationships and then sort of become more like them. And God bless whoever you're with, but you know what? They don't like themselves all the time. So if you become more like them, you're becoming less like you. That's why they chose you. And so I would lose myself, to be fair, in these relationships. I probably became less desirable in that way to them. But I get that. I totally get it. So we all have a part in this. It's never 100% one way, and you know what I mean? It's not even 90-10. It's 100-100 operating at both cylinders. So to me, that's just how it is. And I think you got to keep yourself that, and in that is loving yourself. And that's what I've learned how to do these last few years.
Do you feel like, thank you for sharing all of that. And thank you for admitting, I certainly have people in my life who I can see have a tendency toward codependency.
Yeah.
And I think it's such beautiful work when being codependent in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's just how much you allow that to flex, and if it does harm to you or to the other person. So I love that you now know that about yourself. Do you, and going back to what you just said, Do you feel like in the past you've struggled with enough, maybe not having enough, if I'm hearing you correctly, self-love to maybe be the kind of partner you wanted to be in relationship?
100%. And you don't even have awareness around it. Like, that's the biggest problem is you don't have awareness around it because it's under the guise of humility or being humble or, and I'll be honest with you, a camera was aimed at other people for a reason.
Yeah.
And I did a great job of hiding behind it. And so now I'm not doing that anymore. That's why I'm looking at the camera and engaging today, is because it's an exercise for me to do that, is to be in front of the camera. And that's kind of what I want to do next. Is I feel like a lot of the teaching and coaching and all that type of stuff that people do, almost all of it deals with confidence. Every person that is hearing this right now, you're either struggling from one of two things: the confidence in your work or the confidence in how much money or your value and what you earn. And to me, you're struggling in one of those two areas, maybe both. And I think people that, like me, that have been through this and have struggled through this and who can now stand in front of a camera and proudly look into it and go, hey, I'm with you, but here are some things to work on. And let's put some energy around that. And so that's, I think, where I'm going to next, because I love to help people. And it's not that I don't want to help people that are just the extreme pros. I can, and I've consulted with them. And it's so funny, during the pandemic, I had massive famous photographers and artists contact me and coach with me privately. And I got paid to shut up and not say who they are, with social media, with being in front of the camera, with story arc, with telling their story. And probably for most of them, because most of them were my heroes, which means they're 5 to 10 years older than me, is they struggled with how to reintroduce themselves to an audience.
Yeah.
And that is a big deal. Even for brand, this.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's where I've kind of changed and shifted, because I like that energy, because I feel like I'm contributing, I'm helping more. It's not just about money. It's about love. It's about loving yourself. And I've struggled with that, and I want to help others with that. So I'm kind of shifting towards that because I love doing it. And it's not what do they say when you teach because you can't do? Fuck you. Like, you know what? Teachers still do. I know a lot of teachers who are great photographers and artists.
Every teacher I've ever loved could do.
It's such a shit statement. It's very dismissive. And you know what? Maybe so. Maybe they don't want to be out there pounding the pavement all the time, okay? It's exhausting. I can tell you that from a person who's done it for 32 years. So maybe that's not what they want to do. They want to kind of ride this so that they can spend their time with their art. They can give that as a gift to somebody else, to me. So I have a complete respect for teaching and workshops and however you're going to do it. So to me, I feel like that's kind of what I'm really enjoying now, because I have a real passion for the people who are at that mid-level. Who struggle. They've done this for a while. They've got the equipment. They are charging money, maybe not enough. They're not happy with their work for whatever reason. It's those people who tend to give up. And I don't know if you remember this, but remember Rand McNally, the people who make maps, right?
Yeah.
I remember seeing a statistic years ago that most people that gave up on their journey were 2.5 miles away from the destination. Back when they had maps, you had to rely on a map. They would give up almost at the end because it's so frustrating and so tiresome and exhausting. And to me, that's who I have passion for. I want to help that person, because you're not making enough money and you give up, and you're not making enough. It's the value. You want to feel the value of making great money and not having to swallow your pride every time you accept a check or cash or Venmo or whatever it is you're doing. You want to feel it. You want to feel that exchange. Holy crap, that's a lot of money. That feels great. I'm sorry, but it does.
It feels great.
It can't be the only indicator.
Well, you've mentioned value 2 or 3 times now, and I think there's a shift between, let's just say, our generation and younger generations starting their career.
Yeah.
Gone is the shine and sheen of value as just a monetary pursuit. I think what's so amazing about our younger generations in the workforce right now is they deeply do not give a fuck in the best possible way. And they are not enamored by just the high salary alone. They're
thinking better than we did when I started. I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of respect for whatever you want to call them, millennial, Gen Z, whatever. It does not matter. They're
youngins.
thinking, they're seeing our mistakes. Thank you, Jesus. And they are going, I don't want to do that. I don't want to marry that person. I don't want to be caught in some bad situation.
I don't have to get married. I don't have to own a home. Well, you've made it untenable for me to own a home. You've thank you, boomers and us. You know, all the things that we grew up thinking were have-tos, they haven't bought into. And I think I love that for them.
I do too. And I think it's actually teaching us something.
It is.
This too, my friend, I have a coach that coaches me, Jamie George, amazing person. He looks at me and goes, this too is a teacher to me. And he said that to me at least 1 million times. And there's been times in my life when I was like, shut up.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that right now.
Yeah.
And you have to get to that place where you can say it. It's not easy, but this too is a teacher to me. And those guys are paying attention to that, whereas we didn't. Why are we having to have this as a reminder? It's because we did not listen to that type of thinking.
The first, second, or third time.
But at the same time, the other thing that goes with what you're saying is everyone that we loved did one thing great. There's a drive there that is beautiful and awful, and it's the drive to be great. That sometimes is not a good drive. That's a great drive, but not a good drive. And you know, everyone we loved, like Picasso, womanizer. You know what I mean? Like there's this weird balance.
Our first guest on this podcast, we had the big existential discussion about if you can separate the art from the artist.
That is one of the main discussions in our world.
I love that discussion.
We could make so many examples. Bill Cosby, there's one weekly. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Man and woman. Doesn't matter.
Like classic, artists too.
Man and woman and other.
And other, all the things.
It's everybody. We all
when
have
we all find out
our
our favorite artist is an absolute turd.
Terrible. Nightmare.
Yeah.
And that's just people.
Flawed
that's
people.
Just humans. That's being a human.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So what was your opinion on that? Can you separate the art from the artist?
Okay, so our very first guest on this podcast was a gentleman named Bennett, and I'm now thinking I'm just hosting this podcast so I can make new friends, even though I have a no new friends policy because
capacity.
I don't like I like a quality quality over quantity. I'm a quality over quantity girl, but God damn it, the universe provides.
Well, that and sometimes quality people show up.
I know.
Hello.
I'm telling you.
Hello.
What up?
I'm
what
quality.
up? So, spoiler alert: our first guest has become a very good friend of ours, and so we talked about it on the pod. He actually came from the viewpoint that you can separate the art from the artist. Furthermore, you can also still in that you can choose whether or not you want to monetarily support that art, right? So you can create some separation around it. Michael Jackson is a great example. If you can still enjoy the song playing overhead in your store as you shop, but maybe you don't, contribute. Now it's his legacy, but you don't buy his albums or things like that. That's a poor example, but
not really. That's exact example.
Louis C.K. was my favorite comedian, and I just think he's total trash now because the crimes he perpetrated. Not that you need an excuse to be a terrible person, but there's no reason for a man of his caliber with access to all the things that he has access to. He could have paid women to engage in that activity. you know, you would anyway. It gets very
two
granular.
Of the toughest words to shove into a sentence is moral ambiguity.
Right.
You cannot do that. They cannot exist together.
Yeah.
It's tough. You have to make one or the other your choice. And so to me, the way I look at it and how I kind of had to work around to this exact subject that we're talking about is think of it as the gift they gave you.
Right.
I think
I did cry when it came out.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I really.
And by the way, he is making a comeback. I've seen.
Oh, I know.
Because I have not shut him off because he ends up on other people that I like's podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know how many times I've got to say I'm sorry, but I will continue saying it. Which I was like, okay.
You know, the only sorry that it was his first. It was his first sorry that he came out with that was really. And I know he writes his own stuff. Yeah. So yes, like his agent might, or his PR team might have had a say in that. But when I read it, especially as a fellow writer, I was like, no, motherfucker, this is still all about you. Yep. This is in your ego. I'm not fucking here for it.
Yep.
And
when he stayed under that boot for as long as he did, it wasn't the beginning of that where it was going to get fixed anyway.
Yeah.
He's had to stay under that boot now for what, 4 years, 5 years? And he's been under that boot for a long time. The oppressiveness of that boot, I think, has taught him a lesson.
I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I will say
there's humility in his voice now, which is what you were talking to. It was not there on the written piece. You can tell it.
I love to hear that. And I should say,
doesn't mean you have to like him.
Well,
still, right now.
I can do what the fuck I want.
You don't have to.
I will say one of my most feminist girlfriends asked me when she doesn't even live here anymore, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to go to Louis C.K. with me at the Ryman?" Like when he played here, and I was like, fuck no.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm still mad. And she's like, I'm mad too, but it's going to be great. And I think I think there were other comics performing too.
Yeah.
And I was actually surprised by that. And yet I wasn't judging her. This is a woman who I love, and she's able to make her own decisions about it.
100%.
I'm still mad, and I'm fucking sad, and I'm still disappointed. But I love to hear someone who also loves his work. I'm making an assumption, or liked his work.
It.
Yeah. He's definitely a genius.
But does his gift serve you? That's how that's when it becomes you and your own.
Yeah.
Is this gift he gave you serve you? If it doesn't serve you anymore, you don't have to like it. There are gifts people gave to me that I sold.
Yeah.
There are gifts people gave to me that I should have sold, but it served me and I kept it. So
that brings me back to something that you said earlier, which is you're learning how to love yourself.
Yeah.
I love hearing that you have, and there's not a wrong or right way to do this. A lot of people feel a sense of safety and maybe separation feeling of love when they move on and no longer have contact with their beloveds who have, they've spent copious amounts of time with. Sometimes that works for people, but it sounds like you still have tethers, ties, connections to women that you've been with, and that works for you. What does your journey look like right now in thinking about the possibility of maybe another romantic relationship? And what are you doing right now to work on yourself?
I'm not even thinking about it.
Okay.
Oprah, when she started discussing taking trazepatide or whatever, she talks about food noise.
What is that? Is that
it's one of the Manjaro. It's one of the weight loss, diabetes, pre-diabetes.
Oh, what
things.
Is it? Is it EDLP? Am I fucking that up?
I think so. I think so.
Whatever the category is called.
We're not. Hey, we're not scientists, okay?
Yeah.
Or botanists. Wait, what is it? Biophysics. Wait, you get it.
Biochemists.
Yeah, we're none of that. That's not what we're here for.
We're not those things.
We have meetings with those people to help them make their social media better.
Yeah.
But she talks about food noise. And also, I've been working on my relationship with alcohol the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
And I've been,
good for you.
This is just across the board for me. So it's eating, it's physical, it's, health, it's everything, spiritual, you name it. I'm working on it, honing it. I've got the time now. When I was in my climb, in my arch,
in your prime, in your climb.
yeah, in my climb, when I was doing all that, I did not have the time for it. And so there were a lot of things that I don't like about me back then that now I can pick and choose things. I can go, it wasn't great. You know what I mean? Kind of like we are with some of these people. Either it's morality or just how I was, or it's how I treated people or whatever. I've gone back and had to say sorry to a few people, and sorry I was so demanding. Sorry I threw fits. Sorry I had attitude. Sorry I whatever, And so, working on my relationship, just how I was with alcohol, I drank the same way since high school, which is I don't do it very often. When I do it all at once.
Okay.
And I pass out. And I was like, that's not all every time, but I just all the way or nothing. And you cannot be like that with alcohol, period. But it's everything. I just kind of worked on all this stuff. But they talk about food noise when you struggle with weight and you struggle with diet. There's also alcohol noise too, I've discovered.
When you say noise, is that
just
your
won't
addictive
shut
brain
up.
saying like, do it, you need it, you can't be.
Or you're overthinking this of it. So I would overthink, at a restaurant. Okay, is 2? Is it 3? It's a little math we're doing. It's that.
Negotiation.
Should I have dessert? You know what I mean? It's all that negotiating part of you. But there's also that with relationships. There's a noise, especially to a codependent, right? So in your codependency, you're going, am I too far? Is this too much? Is this too little? Are they too far? Is this too much? Is this too little? It's all that overthinking. It's you trying to create the control. You're trying to maximize
safety.
or minimize. You're trying to safety first. It's all that mammalian brain at work trying to figure out if there's a tiger in the bush or not. And so that's all of that.
The tiger is inside the house.
The chair is against the door.
Yes. Yes. You've got to pet the kitty.
That sounds really gross, but
You've got to learn to pet the cat.
I think mine is from Spies Like Us. I think that was the code for Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. The chair is against the door. It might have been Red Dawn. I can't remember.
Jonna, do you know? Because I don't know.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's Spies Like Us.
Okay.
Yes. I can't believe it. This is how I know our nerd's going to hang out later.
Then the nerds will align.
We'll hang out in one way, I'll hang out another way. But, and it's not that I stopped drinking. Going back to what we're talking about, it's not that I stopped drinking. I changed my relationship with drinking.
Yeah.
It's how I viewed it, how I looked at myself, how I conduct myself. I just do it differently. Now, some people don't have that luxury.
It is true.
They don't. They have to stop because of their mammalian brain. And so I've just redone everything. This has been a clean sweep, and it mirrors each other.
How long have you been doing this hardcore kind of work?
Hardcore kind of work lasts 3 to 4 years. Okay. And it's kind of open-ended both ways, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've done a lot of the work, and I'm just so happy with where I'm at. I'm not the richest guy in the world, but man, I am happy. And I love where I'm at. I'm excited about it. I don't feel like I've peaked. I'm ready for the next adventure. It is. And the risk, I'm nervous. I don't like change, but at the same time, I love it. I don't like it, but I love it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just kind of at a good place. I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I'm excited for the next chapter, and I'm excited about helping others.
So I sometimes ask this question, and I ask it in different ways. I never prepare anything, but you just told me, how are you? And answered it appropriately. That was a good little gimme from one of our guests, I sometimes say, what's a question you like to be asked? And he said, I like for people to ask me, how are you? And actually want to receive a real and honest answer. So it sounds like you're in a really good place. So I'm not going to ask you that. Sometimes I ask, what's next? But I'd like to tweak that question a little bit and say, what's on your wish list for a decade from now? What does that look like? You said earlier that, when you have a vision, you like to get it on paper, whether it's writing it down, sketching it out. What's on your, going back to Oprah, what's on your vision board for a decade from now?
First of all, I hope I make it a decade. But if I don't, I want it to be, I like sappy. I like a good ending. Yeah.
You just want a good ending. Are you okay?
Yeah. Not sad.
What are you feeling right now?
I'm trying to stop so I can talk. Happiness. Also swirling, I'm going to cry today.
It's okay to cry. It's totally okay to cry.
Yeah, it is.
You said you weren't sad. Are you feeling,
But what I am feeling is all these things fighting that. All the chaos and the sadness and the anger, all trying to rise up to defeat the happiness. And I have to just go, no.
doesn't it get tiresome?
Yeah, it does. And that's the struggle we all have, is to keep those voices quiet because they don't get to rule your day or your life. And so what you're seeing is the pain and the pleasure. And you're seeing the happiness go, nope, we win. And the love wins.
Hell
Love
yeah.
wins. And so that's what you're seeing. It's not sadness. It's just all the years of the sadness and the anger and all that kind of coming up, rising up and going, you're a piece of shit, or you know what I mean? You're horrible. You're this, you're that. And it's not that at all. It's just I'm actually really happy. And then all that other stuff comes up and goes, why? Why are you happy? It's almost suspicious of happiness, waiting for the shoe to drop, all the stuff that we grew up with,
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't get to win because I do want this to have a good ending. I'm an old sap. I'm an old softy. Look at me. But I don't care about it. And it doesn't make me any less of a person or a man to sit here and cry in front of you. I don't care. In fact, I look at it as more of a person, more of something to be able to do this in front of another person that I just met today and walk away and not be worried about it.
Yeah, I don't want you. You're not the first person to cry with us.
Yeah.
And
I really thought, I was like, I'm not going to cry today because that's something interesting about me. I think Brene Brown says you cannot hide the good and the bad. And I'm paraphrasing, but you can. And I did for years.
yeah,
I didn't want to know it. I didn't want anybody to know. If you've worked in PR, I let out blurbs. I let you know what I wanted you to know.
yeah,
Because it wasn't about me. I was hiding behind the camera. You're not going to know anything bad about me, especially bad, right? But also with that, you can't hide the bad because you also hide the good.
yeah.
That there's no duality to that. You have to hide both to hide everything. So that's what I spent my whole life doing, and I'm not doing it anymore. And what's so weird, working all this work that I'm doing over the last 3 or 4 years, I've noticed the pitch of my voice has gone up. It's almost like it was when I started doing this is when I started, it goes back to being a 10-year-old or 11-year-old. The pitch of my voice has gone up when I cry, but also when I laugh.
Yeah.
I started noticing the laugh also went up in pitch and timbre. And I was like, that's weird. Because I'm like, I've never cried like this, where there's a little high pitched, little Allen cry.
Because you're not masking anymore.
No, I'm not holding back. I'm not. I just can't do it. I cry so openly, but I also laugh so openly.
Yeah.
That's part of letting go.
Yeah.
That's most of letting go, if not all of letting go. So that's where I'm at. You're seeing a guy who's done things for everybody else, hid it, and hid behind a camera for good and bad reasons. And I just don't give a shit anymore. I don't
Probably
care.
hid within your relationships, you know, through probably no fault of your own or the other person. But
No.
it seems like you're ready to kind of show up more fully.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the things you mentioned, Brene Brown, I remember when she first started,
I just love her.
she's fucking incredible.
I just love her voice and how it's the craziness of being the softness and the strength at the same time.
Her whole, as a researcher, her whole thing being vulnerability is what we need more of
Yeah.
in the world right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think good love, I don't think good joy, I don't think good art comes from this singular presentation of perfection, of ego. It has to come from I'm just making this up, but like, yes, I'm good at this and I have an ego around this, but also guess what? I struggle with X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I think the art that we make becomes more beautiful when you show that you're imperfect. I don't want to be around perfect people. None of us should, because that's not actually a real person. Like,
No, it's not.
Life
And
is
also,
messy.
It might be a real person, but one that's not fun to be around.
Yeah, or hasn't done the work, right?
No. It's funny. One of my people quote MLK a lot for different reasons, and one of my favorite quotes is how heavy a burden hate is to carry. And again, I'm paraphrasing, but that blows me away. You might be able to lift hate. Should you? No, you shouldn't. You should not be trying to power lift hate all the time.
No.
Because it's too heavy a burden to carry.
No.
So you gotta let it go. You gotta put it down.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill you.
Yes.
It will kill you or someone else
Yes.
or both.
Yes.
And to me, that's just where I'm at. You know what? I got to photograph his son.
Really?
It's been a few years, and guess who that was for, people?
Who?
You guys should know this. Diversity Month. What was it? Black History Month for DG.
Really?
Because I told you guys I work with him as much as you guys do, and he spoke at their diversity conference,
Like
I
conference
think, or something.
Yeah.
I love shooting those. I'm such a sucker for that. I love it. And they've had Warren Moon, Eddie George. I was there for a bunch of these, and Martin Luther King III was there. And
Amazing.
and we had some time to kill before before we did the photos and before he had to speak. And I remember going into it, made the mistake of asking, "Hey, everybody, I want to spend some time with MLK the Third tonight. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask him, or something you want to share?" And then, oh man, the hate came in like crazy.
Really?
And it was shocking who it came from.
Is this people, you don't have to name names, but
Yeah.
is this in your circle of people?
Yeah, in my circle, but also, distant circle too.
Okay.
I've got a larger circle than he used to. And hate came in like crazy. They were like, how could you do this? How could he speak to Trump? How could he hang out? How could blah, blah, blah. And I was like, perspective, man. Like, you know how many assholes his dad had to work with? all of them, most of them. Like, and he said, I don't have to like the person to sit in the room with the person. And
Right.
that was his response. I was like, he had to work with all the presidents. That he had to sit. I think it was 5. I think he said 5 presidents. Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was a known racist, and he had to sit in a room and talk to that guy on a continual basis.
Right.
So to me, what is wrong with you? Do you not have any perspective about the struggle? I don't think you do. I think
Yeah.
you just see him going to talk to Trump and thinking he's his best friends with him or whatever. And I was just like blown away by that. But
Well, it's much easier to just be a no or to draw a line instead of try to come to an understanding, right? That's where, circling back to where we
grudge.
started, the idea of that's where the idea of being woke and wokeness, which we, by the way, like many things, stole from the black community and then bastardized it. But
Yeah, among that, among
being
music, not
being
even
woke
music.
is just being aware, right?
Yeah.
And there is something that's happening culturally where
It's funny because it's got a duality of being aware, but there's another hidden term in there of grudge
yeah,
in wokeness jammed into it.
yeah,
And I asked about grudge because I used to hold grudges like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I still do. I have to fight against it.
yeah,
And I asked a friend of mine in all this work I'm doing, I said, what is a grudge and why do I do it? And he said, grudge is so that you don't have to do any work around it.
yeah.
So to me,
It's
you think
easier
it's-
to not meet with the racist president
Yeah,
and just say no
dismissive.
than to
Right off.
get in the ring,
Yep.
as it were.
Get in the arena.
Get in
Stop
the arena.
complaining on the sidelines.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're also an armchair quarterback
Yep.
at the same time. And you want to be a real leader, real mover and shaker, then get in the ring and shut up and get in the ring.
Yeah.
Get in here with us. And so to me, that's what I did. And I just listened to what he had to say. And then surprisingly, he told me, he said, you know who was the most supportive of my dad? Who was actually his friend out of all those presidents? I had no idea. I thought Kennedy. He said, no, far from it. It was Nixon,
Fascinating.
who would be opposite of everything that we would think would be MLK's friend.
Well, rogue
He was
love
the
a
one-
rogue.
He said he helped him the most secretly and behind the scenes. He said, you should see the letters between these two. I've got 20 to 25 of these letters.
Wow.
And Nixon adored my father, loved him. Love would help him behind the scenes. He knew if he did it in front, he wasn't going to be able to do anything. Actual help. But he supported, he encouraged MLK. In front, he was, I don't know like what the pundits say he was in front, but it wasn't kind. And as I remember, Republicans weren't great to the cause at that time,
Yeah.
even though they were part of it. They weren't great. And so to me, I was shocked by that answer. And so here's what I've discovered working with the people that I work with, because I got to tell you, I am backstage. I got a backstage pass that's called a camera. And I've been backstage so many times. Well, I've worked with WikiLeaks. I've been on the inside of a news cycle countless times. I know what's actually usually really happening and what the voice is actually saying and what people are really like being backstage. And it's about 7 to 10% of what you think you know about them.
Yeah.
Every time. 7. I always say 7. I don't know why I say 7%, but it's lower than you think. And most of us think we know based on social media, based on all of our research, which is just looking things up on Google and not really knowing anything or anyone. You don't know them. You don't know them. And just because I'm adjacent, I know them better than you. And it's 7-10%. Like, it's not what you think. And again, exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
You want to do that? You want to spend your whole day going down rabbit holes? I don't. Because how's this serving you? Once again, how is this serving you?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we
Is it-
live in an overflood of information society, and I think we'd all do well to kind of stay in our own lanes while doing the best work that we can. spiritually, creatively, whatever that looks like, being good to the people around us.
Yeah.
I think we're so focused on what's happening out here right now that we're missing the points of connection
Yeah.
between us. And just circling back to what you were sharing earlier, thank you for coming here today. Thank you for being a person who is willing to cry in the room with me.
Yeah.
It's never my intention, I swear.
Well, it's not mine either, but it's because if we're gonna be real, let's be real.
Yeah.
And I'm bold enough and confident enough to be real. And I hope that anybody that comes in contact with me knows that being around me is a safety place. It's a safe place. And that's a great place to be when you're trying to deal with visuals and things like what we're dealing with, that you're going to be in a safe place. And I'm trying to help you, not because I want to get something from it. It's because I'm just trying to help you avoid these pratfalls, these traps that we all fall into.
Well, when we help others, we help ourselves too. That's how that works, right?
Yep.
Doing
That's
good
100%
gives
right.
good back. So,
Yep.
Alan Clark, remind the people where they can find you on the internet.
Right now, until I change the name of it, I'm going to go with AlanClarkPhotography.com
Okay.
and Alan Clark Photography on Instagram. I don't know if this is going to come out before June 7th.
It will not.
And it's fine
No.
if it doesn't
No,
matter. But on
you're
June
gonna be
7th,
June,
I'm gonna
July.
I'm going to start doing a lot of these. And what I'm doing on June 7th is I'm doing a coaching session for about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. That I'm selling actually for about $49, which is not a lot, but what I'm going to start doing, because I am the guy that gets polarized by starting. I want to make it perfect. I want it to have all the bells and whistles. I want the visuals to be amazing, and the graphics and the font and the keyboard sounds and all that craziness. And what ends up happening is I just move on. I get hired by somebody else to do something. I'm gone for a month shooting something. And it does not help people. So I'm starting with, there's a plan, but you know what I mean? It's all about the starting part. So June 7th, I'm doing my first workshop online to help others. And that's kind of what I want to do.
Neat.
And it's going to be about estimating your value. It's going to be about how to have your confidence, because, your work is super strong, but you cannot figure out how to get it out there. And that's what this is going to be about. I'm starting with those kind of issues. I'm not a tip and trick guy, even though I will give tips and tricks. I love some stuff, but I'm more about value. I'm more about career. I'm more about how to earn more and how to be more happy. That's what I'm about, as you can tell. So that's what I want to start these things on. So June 7th, I've got one coming up. And hopefully by the time this comes out, I'll have another one. I don't know what that'll be about, but that's kind of where I'm headed. So I'm just going to fucking start.
Yeah, just fucking start, man.
Just fucking start.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing space with us today.
Absolutely. This is fun.
It is fun.
What an amazing podcast this is.
You're so sweet.
I mean that,
What a
truly.
kindness.
Yeah.
Well, we're having a good time.
Yeah, we are. We're not even drinking. We're just having a good time.
I love it. All right, darling. Our show is executive produced by Sherry Day and Farley Day. Produced, edited, and engineered by Jonathan Kosick. Extra creative magic provided by other fine folks at our sister agency, Artists and Outlaws, including design by Josh Ford and digital management by Nate Hook. If you live in the Nashville area or are visiting soon and want to be a guest, email us at jonathan@freshconsumables.com. That's JONATHAN@freshconsumables.com. Want to hear more of Surprisingly's meaningful and unpredictable conversations? Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Bridget Deanahan. Thanks for listening.